How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to chaoschild. So we're here. It's getting a little spicy. We're getting ready for the festival. We're supposed to have an interview with like the crazy like online interviewer. We also saw like in a like, hey, for the audience kind of nod, there was a conversation about stuff, and like they made an order saying to like kill somebody. I think it's supposed to be making us wonder who, like kind of implying that Taku's in danger, but I actually think it's going to be like the reporter guy, maybe while interviewing with us though, to make things even more insane. But yeah, so we're jumping in. I don't know exactly how far we're going to go. I also can't say, I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, but it's just been a hectic week. Had family come into town, had a lot of work stuff going on. Needless to say, I've been busy. It's been a lot. Not bad, but it's just a lot. So we're kind of moving forward, plodding along, and it's time to get stuff done. So it means that this might be a shorter rather than longer episode. Apologies for that. I'm going to try and be more on top of things for next week, but there's only so much I can do. But it should settle down now because we're done with like the family visits and everything. So we should be pretty good. All right, let's jump into it and see how we like things going this time. October 9th, 2015, Friday. Tashida Hiroko. Oh, that's right. We also saw like the weird looking lady in like the black with the weird eyes, and she was like at the monument that we see Kurusu go to all the time. So there's something there too. All right. Tashida Hiroko was working at her part-time job at the grocery store cashier. Oh, it's the 9th, by the way. It's the 9th, so it's the day before we expect the next event to happen. Her husband was always out working late, but he didn't actually make any money. His airheaded personality meant that he was perpetually stuck in lower management. I mean, he's probably making some money, it just might not be a lot of money. Her son was in college, spent all his time playing. She was spending a lot of money to send him there, but he'd grown into a selfish boy who'd constantly demand cars and trips. Of course, their budget was always stretched to the limit. They hadn't built up any kind of savings. They lived in Shibuya, but she had to live with her in-laws, which didn't make things easy at all. Oh, that does suck. Especially because like a big part of that probably comes down to just the cost of living is just insane in Tokyo, I'm sure. I imagine it's not any better nowadays either. The idea of going to lunch with her friends from the neighborhood seemed as remote as a fiction that she saw parodied on the news every night. She wanted an easier life. Lately, she'd been all sighs. Yesterday, she'd actually sighed at work and gotten a warning from her boss. Oh, how toxic is that? Like, and then, hey, no feeling emotions. The store where she worked was along Meijidori, about a 5-minute walk from Shibuya. The lunchtime rush had ended and things were calming down. Okay, but that's probably why. If she's a service worker, like, did she say she works at a cafe? I'm realizing that's in my head. But, yeah, grocery store cashier. But yeah, so she's front facing. So sighing is like, how dare you look tired at work? God, I would have been fired a long time ago if that were enough to fire you. Let's just calm me down. She wanted to take a little break, but it wasn't break time yet.
合計で3127円になります。
Okay. The woman in front of her, who was taking out her wallet, was the one she'd seen several times before. She wore fancy clothes, had a slender, attractive body, and her makeup was perfect, too. Even when she was only going shopping at the supermarket. She must live in a different world. Maybe she was what they called a celebrity wife. The woman seemed very anxious as she waited for her to finish. Tashida hadn't even handed over her change yet, and she'd already lifted up her shopping basket. What was bothering her so much? Was she feeling sick? She did seem a little pale. Tashida wondered about her, but then didn't have enough of a relationship that she felt comfortable asking. She handed her the receipt and her change, and the woman quickly left. Tashida greeted her next customer, and then gasped. It was a man. Oh, what the fetch? Why? And he was wearing a mask. That's never a good sign. The mask had the same design as those things they called sumo stickers. She'd heard about the stickers on the news several days ago. She'd learned lately they were popular in Shibuya and nowhere else. She had seen them several times on her way to and from work. It was a disgusting design. The idea of Shibuya being overrun with these things made her sick. And this man was wearing a mask of the same design. That meant she couldn't see his face. His clothes were completely normal. They weren't particularly filthy. He didn't look like a pervert or a crazy man. But that made it even stranger that he'd be wearing a mask to hide his face, and one so poorly constructed that it was obviously handmade. Was this why the last customer seemed so anxious? The man was standing completely still. He didn't say anything to Tashida, and then she realized that she'd been staring at his face for quite a long time.
すみません。いらっしゃいませ。
She looked inside his shopping basket. It was filled with several bowls of instant ramen and a single 2-liter.
4378円になります。
Dang, it's just like she's just trying to act normal, see it all stay normal. As she gave him the total, she happened to see the customer in the other lanes. This time she was struck completely silent. It wasn't just her register. Every single register. Oh my gosh, that's horrifying. Had a customer wearing a mask. There were so many of them. And they were all standing silently. There were already 10 people lined up at her register, and all of them wearing sumo sticker masks. What is happening here? This is getting real trippy. This is the scariest thing we've seen in the story so far. This right here. I'd just be like, nope, you know what? I don't know if I need this job anymore. I'm just gonna go. Because that's not worth sticking around for. That store never got this busy, even at lunchtime on a Saturday. The only thing the people in the masks had in common was that they were men. They all wore different clothes. The tall man in a sweatshirt, a fat middle-aged man in running clothes, a well-built man in a sweater, and so on and so on. Not all of them looked like they had steady jobs, but not all of them looked like they were unemployed. Not one of them said a word. They just stood there in a line, masks on their head, baskets in their hand. The noisy supermarket was suddenly fell silent, and all the other employees and customers stared at the men in masks, eyes wide. That's almost worse that everyone else can't see it too. It's not just a hallucination. What the fetch is happening? On my way to just back at school. On my way to the student council room, I remembered I'd been planning on getting a mountain view and headed back to the vending machines. Only caffeine and carbonation, combined in the mightiest of drinks, could quench my thirst. Oh, there you are. Onoa. Just as I was about to put my coin in the slot, I heard a voice I recognized.
Onoe? お前、手が足りないクラスの手伝いをしてるんじゃないのか?
Yeah, you look disturbed. Like what's going on?
そう、それ。お願いだから助けて。
Oh, okay. She grabbed my hand and yanked me forward.
ちょっと待ってくれ。さっきからあちこち動きっぱなしで。
それどころじゃないんだってば。とにかくタクがいないと。
Well, how do you turn that line down? Also, I'm guessing this is literally moments or a short term after the whole, Star Wars, daydream we had, and then the body switching Freaky Friday-ness that we had. That was intense.
見つけた。
Oh, is that, what's her name? Blonde girl? I heard the exact same phrase I'd heard a moment ago. It is.
先輩方、チャオっす。やー、今日もお二人仲が良さそうで何よりです。
Okay. I'm filled with distrust. You're adorable. She really is, actually. She's like her design and attitude that she projects is very cutesy. But that's what makes it so scary. It's like, what are you hiding?
Huh?
Yeah.
Arimura-san.
Arimura.
あなた、殺されますよ。宮代拓先輩。
I remember the words she said before. I was definitely Arimura, whose son, who was in front of me now. The one of the murder scene. And the one who'd been talking to a detective about the case. I could feel myself starting to sweat.
有村さん、なんで？
や やだな。後輩なんだから呼び捨てでいいって言ってるじゃないですか。ねえ、リカ。
Huh?
リカ？名前、セリカでしょ？やだ？じゃあ、セリでファイナルアンサー？
Oh, so she's choosing the nicknames Seti or Rika. I like the Rika. That's cute.
う
Her response is,
ファイナルなのか、アンサーなのか。アンサー。
Perfect.
ついでに私のことはヒナでいっから。はい、声に出して言ってみよう。せーの。
Oh my gosh. Okay. Like I said, she has that adorable attitude, but A, feels super fake, and B, it's like the gross kind of like cute. It's like the, all right, overload much. Please go away.
な？ダメ。たどたどしいぞ。もう一回。
It's like a cheerleader.
ひな。まだちょっち硬いけど、いいとすっか。じゃ、よろしくね、セリ。
What was she doing? This wasn't the same Arimura-san who told me I was going to be killed. This is how she was when she talked to her classmates. This only made me wonder. Was she planning something? What was she doing in the love hotel that day?
お、どうしたんですか、宮代先輩。視線が熱いですよ。
あ、いや。
もしや、私に惚れちゃいましたか？
Oh, Seneca, how you gonna respond to that one? But like, no. Ah!
タク、そうなの？
Why would you just accept that as truth?
違う、そうじゃ。
もう、そんな否定しなくても素直になっちゃいなよ、You.
Okay. What? Seriously, what does she want? You want money? Like, is this are you gonna mug me? Like, what's happening?
あ、でも言っときますけど、私に惚れると怪我するぜよ。
I honestly have no doubt of that. It was no good. I couldn't keep up with her energy.
というわけで、セリ、宮代先輩借りてくぜ。
Wait, what? But I was just being borrowed.
は？
Yeah, again, I'm just an island. Like, what is happening right now? Before I could say anything, Arimura-san wrapped her arm around mine and pulled me away.
あり、ひな？アディオスグラッシャー、セリ。また来年。
What's the Spanish? Okay. Okay, can you drop this, please? I want to just talk like normal, or at least like the real you.
あの。
あ、何ですか？
What are we doing?
話してもらえませんか？
あはは、これは気が回りませんで。
She bopped herself on the head and let go of my arm. And then she led me further down the hall, humming as she went. What was she doing? I don't know, dude. Considering the last cohesive thing she talked to you about was that you were gonna die, I don't know if I'd be just going along with her by herself. I'd be like, I don't know, can you like follow us, please? And be like, make sure I don't get shanked. Felt like she was up to something. She must have noticed I wasn't moving because she suddenly turned around.
やだな、そんなあからさまに用心しないでくださいよ。ひなちゃん悲しい。
Well, you're not like helping things. She pretended to cry.
一体どこまでが本気なんだ。わけがわからない。
Exactly.
ほら、ここです。ささ、入って。
Warning! Warning! She pointed at an empty classroom. What was she planning on doing here?
でも。
大丈夫ですって。取って食ったりなんかしませんから。ね。
That doesn't make it any better.
いや、ちょっと。
I'm guessing she just wants to talk, but still. Dang it. In the end, I gave in and went into the classroom.
さてと。
Oh, that's a phrase that usually means incoming pain.
先輩にここに来てもらった理由、わかりますか？
I don't know. On the nice, friendly end, you're just gonna give me a little warning. On the horrible end, you're gonna kill me. Alright.
いえ、
I always want to see these because they're fun and lovely and enjoyable. But we haven't tried one of these in a while. And I feel on edge. Maybe I'll feel a bit better if we start with a negative and then go for like the reality, which is probably not nearly as bad as we're imagining. Of course not.
心当たりないです？
I don't like the way you're talking. Alright. I'm interested in why so many people were talking about her so positively, because I get just all kinds of warning bells and just, like, bad news. That's just all she gets, like, the vibe I get from her is just bad news. That was the only thing I could think of. It doesn't help that this all happened. But seeing the way she acted today, it was hard to believe that she was the same girl.
どっちの姿が本当の彼女なんだろう。
Maybe. What if I was remembering what if what I was remembering was the real her? Then the reason she brought me here must be death.
一体何を？
実は、先輩の家を調べさせてもらいました。
Oh gosh.
なんだって？一体いつの間に？いや、それよりどうやって中に？
それについては、こちらのお二人に協力してもらっちまったんですな。これが。
Oh gosh.
Huh?
Oh. Oh no! This is a nightmare. It's all three of them working together. That'd be terrifying.
なんで？っていうかクルス、何やってるんだよ。安静にしてないと。
はい、ストップ。そんなこと今はいいんですって。それより先輩の家を捜索して、やばい秘密を突き止めちゃいましてね。
No. They found the magazines. No.
は？やばい秘密って？一体。
My mind is racing. Did I have some kind of dangerous secret? Was I was hiding on that RV? I had no idea. I couldn't think of anything.
あれ？わかりません？あなた、大変なものを集める趣味がおありのようで。
I mean, my impression would be some of the evidence he's collected, like, is the more realistic answer. But I have a feeling this is going to take a twist. Either it's going to become, like, actual murder, or she's going to pull out, like, our magazine stash, or maybe a porno mag or something we had hidden under the bed, and we're just going to feel like our social life dies right here. Her eyes are cold and filled with disgust. She was so friendly a moment ago, and now she's acting like a detective. I knew she met with a detective earlier. Did that have something to do with this? Oh gosh. Both Sedaka and Kurusu were refusing to look at me. That was the biggest shock of all.
言いたいことがあるなら、はっきり言ったらどうですか？
I worked up my courage and walked over to Arimura-san.
これですよ、これ。
Arimura-san took out the magazines out of her bag and threw them on the desk. It was the magazines! No! Ah! I gasped when I saw them.
なあ、そんなバカな！どうしてこれを？
That line delivery is very much Okabe. Like, it's so Okabe pilled right there. Like, the delivery and everything.
ようやく事態を把握しましたか。宮代先輩、その雑誌名を言ってみてください。
Cool cat.
言いなさい。
クールキャットプレス。
And inside, he's already dead. It was my favorite magazine, the one that Jen-san brought me.
なぜこれよ。
宮代先輩の人となりを調査するためです。
Oh no.
クールキャットプレスは関係ないだろ。
あります。大ありですよ。宮代先輩の性癖を把握する上で重要な証拠です。
Oh no. That can't be though. Like it has superficial crap in there, not actual preferences.
僕の性癖を知ってどうするつもりだ。
Wait, what? He doesn't even deny it. It's like, why do you care about that?
いや、誤解しないでほしいんですけど、クールキャットプレスを買っているのは性的な欲求のためじゃなくてですね。
Dude, just if this were actually happening, I'd be like, you just need to play it cool and just leave.
むしろサブカル関連の情報を得るためと言いますか。
言い訳は見苦しいですよ。
本当だって。尾上、クルス、信じてくれるよな。
Oh, you've given Onoa some decent reason to believe otherwise. And Kurisu, yeah, I don't know what she would think of that. Sedeca and Kurisu look away even harder.
そんな、どうして。
自分の行いについて冷静に思い返してみたらどうです？宮代先輩は証拠を残しているんですよ。クールキャットプレスを性的欲求のために買っているんだっていう証拠を。
What? That's a leap. Why? How? What?
証拠？
Yeah, what proof do you have? I stared at the copy of Cool Cat Press on the desk, and then I realized each of them was marked with several stickers. No, you've been bookmarking them?
しまっ。
If he actually is, like, in real life, out of delusion, has been bookmarking his Cool Cat presses, holy crap, this dude. My blood ran cold. I was definitely one who'd put them there, and of course I knew exactly what they meant.
理解しました？
いや、その。
Alright, this is it. We're done. Let's just, we're gonna go walk into the mountains and vanish and never be seen again. Time to get demoned
先
away.
輩って几帳面ですよね。
Oh my gosh, idiot.
あ、そうだ。ちょっと付箋の貼ってあるページに何が書いてあるか
Oh.
読み上げてみましょうか。
Nope, where's the window? I'm just jumping. I'm just leaving right now.
尾上さんとクルス先輩にも協力してもらって。
Nope, just not even just, I'm not gonna open the window. I'll just go straight through it.
はぁ？なんでそんな。
面白そうだからに決まってるじゃないですか。
Please, let me out. Arimura-san grabbed one of the magazines off the table. She flipped it open to one of the marked pages and gave me a long glance before she started to read. This is horrible. Oh no.
新しいキッス感覚の旅に出る。
It's so sad because I absolutely remember these magazines existing, and I remember I think I flipped through a few of them because I was like curious what on earth they were talking about, because like they always had like weird stuff on the front cover. I was like, what is this? And they had like stuff like this, or they had like little quizzes or whatnot, but it was the most, even I could tell at the time, it was just tripe. It was basic malarkey. There's no grounding in reality.
はは。キッスに興味がおありですか。
To be fair, most people are. That's not weird or deviant, necessarily. Straight to the heart. Oh.
次。
Oh no.
2回目のデートでお持ち帰り必勝法。
Oh. Oh no. I am pretty darn sure that doesn't work. There's no magic formula, except the magic formula being she's into you. Like, if she's into you and she's okay with it, then cool. Go. And you'll set the stage and it'll happen. You can always ask for the invite. You can always like feel for the mood and try and see. But the thing is that she's gotta wanna. Unless it involves drugging, which is illegal, obviously.
そもそも1回目のデートすらしたことないだろみたいなツッコミ欲しいですか？
Oh, that one must smart. Yeah. Unfortunately, man, I can't really say I can empathize with that one too much. I never really, I wasn't coping, I never went on copious dates or anything, but that was more of a me thing, and I always had dates options, basically. As soon as I was interested in dating, it kind of wasn't that difficult, unfortunately for me. I mean, fortunately for me, but it's like, I don't know. I'm a perfect example that if I can do it, you can do it. But then also modern life is way different. I imagine for kids, like anyone in high school right now, I say kids, they're not kids, but like even like a few years difference, it feels like a whole new landscape, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the window, it's right over there. Just go. Oh no.
驚異のこたつマジックで女の子は好きだらけ。こたつで落とせ。
Kotatsu, is that like a oh wait, kotatsu. Here's my I've seen some of the light of Japanese, but not enough. Is kotatsu a food? Or those tables with the blanket drapes and the heating elements underneath that are really warm? I think a kotatsu is the table with the heating, the table blanket heater combo. But I'm not sure. Don't do this to me. Okay, I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna go crazy if I don't know. So kotatsu. It is the table with the blankets. I'm such a nerd.
こたつ
I mean, to be fair, they look comfy. I imagine that they get overblown in stuff like anime, obviously. And I've always wondered, how are they not a massive fire hazard? But they look comfy. Poor dude. I can feel my will draining away. Mine would be gone. I would be a puddle on the floor or out the window. This torture was worse than I'd imagined.
じゃあ次は尾上さん。
Please stop. He's already dead. Well, no, I walked over hesitantly. She still was refusing to look at me. She picked up another issue of Cool Cat Press and opened it, and she looked a little embarrassed.
読んで。
Fetch me. Honestly, I'd rather face an inquisition. This basically is an inquisition.
女の子の感じるツボ大使い。
Oh, alright. I would, okay, here I would be. I'd be like, all right, no, we're done. No, we're done. I'm just I think my heart would just explode. I would be like, yeah, we're done. It's just no point.
ツボ
Oh no.
指圧師でも目指すつもりですか？夢があっていいですね。
It's nice to have big dreams. Oh no. Oh no. I can't think of anything worse to hear after that. Oh my. This man. This is a delusion. It's basically horrifying. What is with this episode? It's just horror. Existential dread. Yeah. That is a man's mind shattering and soul just packing up.
はい次。
No. It can't.
海を見に行こうよと誘えば女の子はついてくる。
What? That, compared to the last one, that was nothing. I'm guessing it's more of a specific phrasing, a cultural reference, or I don't know. Is it equivalent to saying like run away with me? Maybe? I don't know.
海っすか。ついてかないですよ。
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's like, don't ask. Oh, there's the blood cough.
はい。じゃあ次はクルス先輩。
Oh, you're kidding me. There was nothing in the world as embarrassing as your relatives finding out about your sexual fetishes. These aren't even bad though. It's mostly coming from a realm of just naivety. And I would argue that being curious about something like knowing the pleasure spots or whatnot is derived out of a desire to like be able to have like good, meaningful, intimate moments, but you're not gonna learn what you really need. Like it's not like a magazine, especially something like a Cool Cat magazine. It's not gonna be teaching you anything really that useful. But that's something that you learn as you grow up. Like I can kind of get that. Most of this other stuff has been just dumpster trash fuss, and that one's pretty trash too, and it's very embarrassing. But I also can understand like that's a genuine like unknown if you haven't been in a relationship before. It's something that feels like, what am I supposed to do when you get into that situation for the very first time? Because, yeah, you just wanted to make sure it's a good experience. And I get that pressure. That pressure is real. Oh, here we go.
学校内恋愛の落とし穴。別れた後に気をつけろ。
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I could see an article of that being kind of useful for someone in his, like, who's attending school. If I recall, though, these magazines this would be targeted to like a college. Like I don't think they wrote these magazines with a high schooler in mind. Take care after a breakup.
付き合う前から別れた後の心配っすか。まず女子と付き合えるかどうかを心配しましょうよ。
That's very harsh, but I actually would be on his side in this one. I'd be like, hang on a second. There's nothing wrong with trying to understand the nuances before. Like you don't learn to drive without at least becoming familiar with the road rules and the danger signs and warning signs and how like the car can like speaks to you through various symbols and sounds. Like that's stuff you would study beforehand. Yeah, you don't jump into a car and expect that the engine's going to start exploding, but you'd want to know the signs that could tell you that it might explode. I think relationships and dating are kind of like that in a way. If you have a good source of information, that's not bad, but this is not a good source of information.
もう許して。
Yeah, the poor man's already been dead for days.
じゃ、そろそろ最後。
Oh no. Best for last?
振られた時に聴きたいバラードトップ10。
To be dumped? I thought it was gonna be like top 10 things to listen like when you're like, you know, having intimate moments, you know, like the whole like, oh, like make your Spotify playlist, you know. But no, it's about like how to console yourself when you've been dumped. And she's gonna say something like, well, at least you're prepared for the most likely outcome.
振られた時って最初から負け戦想定してるんですか？それとも振られて落ち込んでる俺かっこいいみたいな中二な妄想ですか？
Oh, I felt that one. I felt that one. This delusion is not fun. It's hilarious.
恥ずかしい。
It's hilarious, but it's not fun.
もうやめてくれ
yeah. He sees all that in his head. His reaction is just, ugh. I can feel his shoulders like hunch forward. If that happened, I'd kill myself. I've told you, Windows right there, boy. No, don't put that many sticky notes in my... I didn't put that many sticky notes in the copies of Cool Cat Press anyway. But you put more than one. That's right. Only one, maybe two. That's right. They weren't in parts that were about getting girls. They were about Minamikata Kenji Sensei's column or the articles in men's fashion. I should stop thinking about this. I needed to figure out why Arimura-san had brought me here. But I basically knew already.
事件のことですか?
Right, back to business. Arimura-san's expression turned serious. I gulped repeatedly, feeling a little overwhelmed.
その僕も聞きたかったんですけど、あの事件の。
Yeah.
何のことですか？
Arimura-san suddenly smiled. This is where you're supposed to take the hint. You won't. But you take the hint and you go, fine. Then why did you want to talk to me alone? Because I can't think of any other reason. She was smiling, but her voice made it clear she was refusing to answer my question. I would have liked it more if she'd been frowning. I opened my mouth as if being pushed forward by some indescribable fear.
今さらとぼけたって無駄だと思います。あの現場に君がいたことは確かなんですから。
Why? What on earth made you think that was a good direction to take this conversation, dude? What the heck? By the way, it's talking about this fear and it plays with the fear, and like I've been really getting into something called the Magnus Archive podcast. It's been really fun. If you ever get a chance and you just want something kind of horror / like Call of Cthulhu-esque to listen to, it's pretty enjoyable. Highly recommend.
君はどうしてあそこにいたんですか?
She was looking at me, but I couldn't read any kind of emotion in her eyes. I almost stepped back, but stopped myself.
なんか先輩、刑事さんみたいっすね。
Oh. And now she's back to her casual tone of voice.
くそ、なんなんだよこの子。
あの人は古い友人で、時々ああして会って、いろいろと話を聞いてただけっすよ。
Okay, did he mention that he saw her with the guy? About that case. Okay, so that's what that was. Okay, I thought he was strictly talking about like the murder scene, but like it sounds like he kind of is basically saying like, "Hey, I saw you talking to the detective." That was what she said before when she was meeting with that detective named Shinjo-san at Cafe Lax.
だから、先輩が思ってるような関係じゃないですから、残念でした。
Uh-huh.
は？残念。
お、とぼけますか？あんなところで落ち合ってたんだから、エッチな想像してたんでしょ？もう、男子ってみんなそうですよね。やらしい。
Alright, well, we've left the realm that I thought we were entering. I think it's just her deflecting again, and I think she's recognized that he's real easy to fluster, so she just goes for this type of topic, mostly to mess with him.
いや、違う、そうじゃなくて。
またまた、こんなところに連れてきたから、本当はちょっと期待してたんでしょ？でしょ？
No.
だからそういうのじゃなくて。
Made sense now that she mentioned it, but honestly, the idea hadn't occurred to me at all.
僕はただ純粋に
Stop
it! Arimura-san looked at me with narrow eyes as if she was judging me. What was that about?
私が先輩をここに連れてきたのは、宮代先輩のことが知りたくなったからです。
Okay. Why?
僕のことが。
というわけで。
Oh, here we go. Here's the knife! She started to rustle through the contents of a cardboard box that had been beneath the desk. Huh? What's she getting out? What's she gonna do with me? Again, the knife's coming!
だから、そんなに警戒しちゃ嫌ですよ。これ、手伝ってほしいだけですから。
Uh-huh. Where's that knife? There was a huge stack of papers. Maybe I'd prefer a knife.
これって？
What is this? Yeah.
今からこれ、製本するんで手伝ってください。
So you literally just needed help for the festival. Why? Why us?
Huh?
いやー、友達に頼まれちゃって。ほら、私って頼まれると断れないタイプじゃないですか。
Uh-huh. No, I didn't know that.
待ってください。どうして君が頼まれたことに僕が借り出されなきゃいけないんですか？
You gonna pull that like, because I asked you.
交換条件で学食の食券2週間分くれるって言うんですもん。
Are you needing food?
だからそれにどうして僕が。
愚問な。そんなの2人でやった方が早いからに決まってるじゃないですか。
So I get a week's worth of food tickets then, right?
いや全然理由になって。
まあまあ細けいことはいいんですよ。まずはこっちのページから折っていきますよ。
Okay. She handed me a stack of printouts without waiting for my response. I'm not reassessing. I thought she was bringing us here for an ulterior motive. She might still. I thought the ulterior motive was either to talk to us about something, but maybe she's just trying to get us out of the way for something? But why? Maybe in a weird way, she talked about how we're going to die, but maybe she's inadvertently trying to protect us or something.
ほらほら、口を動かす前に手を動かす人になりましょう。
Then she ignored me and started to work. I guess that meant she didn't intend to tell me anything else about the case. The detective had said that Kakita, the victim of the revolving dead case, had been murdered, and that she was cooperating and exchanging information with him. But if I asked her about that, she'd find out that I'd overheard her conversation at Cafe Lax. In the end, I was forced to help make pamphlets for one of the younger classes I knew nothing about.
もうすぐ復興祭っすね。
そうですね。
I mean, we're basically talking about the weather stage of this, okay?
やりにくいな。
What, me or the pamphlets?
何がですか？
By the way, I've had to do the folding pamphlets thing before. One of the things you could do is if you ever had to do like lots of pamphlets, get a ruler. You fold it and then you crease it with a ruler real fast, and it's quick.
それっすよそれ。後輩なんだから敬語はいらないって言ってるじゃないですか。
About what?
そうですよね。
Yes, just say yes. Like avoid death.
まあいっか。そのうちおいおい後々後々ってことで。
About what later? You're saying things that make no sense. There's no context. Huh?
で何の話でしたっけ？
Nothing.
そう思い出した。復興祭。復興祭って言えば校庭にあるあの風鈴の飾り。先輩なんて書きました？
Oh, I get you. So like, I didn't.
ああいうの好きじゃ。
え？
いや、なんでも。
Oh no, I said what I was really thinking. Oh gosh, why is that interesting to you?
僕それ書いてないです。言われたの忘れてて。
なんすかそれ。協調性ないですな。
I mean, do you though? Like, you don't have to. It's kind of cool, especially when it's something simple as like writing a wish on a piece of paper. I can get why he might feel like, oh, that's so silly, but like, silly stuff is still fun. Granted, he's got a lot on his mind. Couldn't argue with that, but I had a feeling that no one got along with the group as well as Arimura-san.
でもそっか、その手があったか。私もそうすればよかったかもな。
What, just not filled it out? I couldn't tell if she was faking or not, but at least on the surface, she seemed sincere.
有村さんはなんて？
Oh gosh.
知りたいっすか？
I mean, kinda. Because you keep bringing it up. So what? Did you not want to say? She brought her face up close to mine.
いや、まあ。
I'm starting to get this weird impression that maybe why people like her so much. Granted, there's a lot more game to play, so I'm sure there's many reasons why I might start understanding. But is it just because she's like a confident girl who talks and like is flirty? I can understand that might be appealing because like it's so refreshing to have someone who's just like upfront about feelings. But is that all? I mean, besides her, like, she's cute, but beyond that.
私はね秘密です。乙女の秘密は高いのですよ。
Okay. If they're expensive, do you propose a trade of some kind, or are you just teasing? Because I'm guessing it's the latter. What? Everything she says, he responds in his head with, huh? What? What? Why? And me too, honestly. I really didn't understand. This wasn't Arimura-san I was talking to right now. The Arimura-san I'd seen was Shinjo-san, and the one that told me I was going to be killed. Which one was the real Arimura-san? I mean, they could technically both be real, but this definitely feels like the mask.
よし、できた。
え？
ちょっと先輩、まだ終わってないんすか？遅い。
ごめんなさい。
しょうがない。私が手伝ってあげるんで、半分貸してください。
ありがとう。
Thanks for helping with the project that you made me do. No, wait, why am I saying thanks? There's a reason for me to... There's no reason for me to be doing any of this anyway, is there? What am I doing?
よし、できた。
Yeah. That was the longest drawn out ever. I reached out to stretch my arms and every joint in my shoulders, back, and hips cracked. I've been helping people all day. My body felt like it was reaching its limit.
あざっす。先輩のおかげで思ったより早く終わりました。グラッチェグラッチェ。
Cool.
それで完成したこれはどこへ？
ああ、いいっすいいっす。それは取りに来てもらいますから。
そう。
I thought of asking her about the case again, but decided against it. To be honest, the look on her face I'd seen last time still scared me.
それじゃあ、僕はここで。
あ、先輩、ちょい待ちです。
Okay. So you actually gonna say what you wanted to say?
え？
明日、渡部さんとの対談ありますよね。
うん。ありますけど。
Even Arimura-san knew about it.
友達もみんな噂してますよ。今や先輩は注目の的。
I doubt it's we that are famous. It's more of just the guy who's famous. They're like, oh, dude, they're talking to someone from the newspaper club. Kazuki's classmates have been talking about it too. I guess it is a really big deal. That just shows how famous Wadaba is, I guess.
で、お願いがあるんですけど。
Oh, here it is. Her sudden sweet voice made my heart skip a beat, but I tried my best to hide it.
何ですか？
その対談の時に、あのスクープの元になった画像、どうやって撮ったか聞いてくれませんか？
Oh, interesting that she wants that too.
え？
The photo for his big scoop.
渡部さんの記事に貼ってあったあの画像のことです。
Yeah, that's the thing. We noticed that as well. I wonder why she wants that. Was that what she was talking about?
どうしてそんなことを？
まあまあいいじゃないですか。細かいことは気にしない。明るく楽しくいきましょうよ。
In this case, it very much matters. Thank you very much.
だけど。
わかった。わかりました。じゃあ、これあげますから、ひなえちゃんとの約束。
Okay, why are you cranking the charm up to 9? Arimura-san slid something into my chest pocket and pushed me out to the hallway.
え？ちょっと。
じゃ、助かりました。アディオスグラッシャー。
Okay. I took out the thing she'd put in my pocket.
食券？
And only 3 days worth. The nerve. Fair, though. You probably only did 3 days worth of work. She apparently did like half and half. You know, like 3/4 of it all. Now that I was alone, everything about Arima-san somehow seemed off. Everything that happened, everything she said, seemed like it was covered in lies. Wow, Sherlock, I can't believe you put that together. Everything, including the reward I'd been given, made it seem like I was being tricked. Yep. October 9th, 2015, Friday. Alright, so we're seeing lots of weirdness building up as we get closer to this festival. Shinjo took out a picture of the face of the man who'd stabbed Kurusu, then showed it to Kunosato.
そちらの読み通り、こいつと病院に入院していた例のイラストレーターとはつながりがあった。
The illustrator in the hospital. Huh. Kunosato didn't really react. She listened to him speak as if she knew everything he was going to say already.
同じ高校の同級生だ。一時は原作と絵を2人で分担して共同のペンネームで漫画を描いていたこともあるらしい。
Interesting.
そいつらが一連の猟奇殺人の犯人だという可能性は、アリバイはあるのか。
2人とも1年ほど前から病室もしくは部屋に引きこもりだ。イラストレーターの方は病院の監視カメラにもその記録が残ってる。
Right, but if he can look through the sumo stickers and somehow like reach out through them in various ways, then he doesn't have to leave.
壁標の生徒を刺した男の方は家族の証言に頼るしかないが、警察に駆けつけてきたとき。
Oh. And then the phone rang. Kunosato picked it up without saying a word to Shinjo. There she is. Arimura. Even from here, you could tell exactly how annoyed Arimura Hinae was. But Kunosato cut her off before she could say a word.
ごねるつもりか、それとも報告か。どっちだ？
So they're working together. So Hina, or Arimura, and Mio are working together. Okay. Alright. That makes me feel much better about her, because I was like all duplicitous and lies, and she is, but she's working here with Mio. So far, this team I feel like is the grounded team that's trying to like not kill people, maybe save people.
そういうところが。
Kunosato had no intention of listening to her complaints. Did she do as she was told? Did she get any results? That's all Kunosato wanted to hear.
どっちなんだ？
伝えました。これでいいんですよね。
Okay, so they are acting manipulative and like they're working towards a bigger goal, and I'm getting the feeling that they are not worried about potential casualties in the face of trying to accomplish or save what they're trying to save. I think they're like the well-intentioned good guys, but who are willing to do terrible dark things to try and prevent bigger, darker things.
よし。明日は当然お前も立ち会え。直接だ。出なければ意味がない。
こういうのやめてもらえませんか？いろいろめんどくさいんです。私はあなた方に協力する気は。
Oh, okay. So she's unwittingly become a pawn. She didn't start out on their side. Kunosato hung up before she could finish her sentence. Look at her. She's cool. Shinjo is glaring at her.
どうした？続けろ。
今のは有村さんだろう。こちらに無断で進めるのはやめてくれないか。
代替案のない批判は誹謗に過ぎないし、誹謗は暇人か無能であることの証明だぞ。続けろ。
Sheesh.
お前な。
Shinjo frowned, dissatisfied, but gave up and flipped through his papers he was holding.
どこまで話したんだった？
壁標の生徒を刺した男の家族の証言。
ああ。男の家族が警察に駆けつけてきた時の第一声は、息子が人を刺すなんてありえないではなく、息子が外出するなんてありえないだったそうだ。
They were like so shocked he'd left, they forgot about the stabbing. Interesting.
病気殺人が起こった日も絶対に家から出ていないと言っている。
Huh. How's that work? Kunosato looked up for a second as if lost in thought.
その証言信用してもいいとは思うな。男の作っているイカれたページが事件のあった時刻に更新されているし。
Okay.
まあそれが偽装と言い切れなくもないが、精神鑑定は？
相変わらず救世主がどうのこうのと繰り返している。
メガロマニアか。
Megalomania. Kunosato frowned as if she was annoyed.
イラストレーターは2007年頃何をしていた
？2007年はまだ地方だ。
確かか。
ああ、2008年末に東京に越してきて、その時高校で傷害の犯人と一緒になった。
なるほど。当てが外れたな。釣れたのは結局結界説なんかの妄想に逃げ込むやつらだけか。
What is this? So this is a blind alley, because she's saying that in 2007, they like when the sumo stickers were appearing for the first time, he was still in Kyushu, so he wasn't in the Tokyo area at the time, so he couldn't be directly involved. But then a pair clinging to the barrier theory delusion. What's the barrier theory delusion? Suddenly, she leaned back in her chair, seemingly bored.
結局そいつらは猟奇殺人に関しては白だったか。単なる力士シールの模倣犯の可能性が高いな。
Oh, interesting. If that's the case, then they're not making the real sumo stickers.
模倣犯？
アリバイが確立している以上、まあある程度だが、事件との直接のつながりは薄い。間接的につながるとしたら力士シールに関することだけ。
Maybe, but then why'd the guy go out of his room randomly and go and stab her? Was it like the things he was saying and the place that he went? It just seems oddly specific, but it feels like she's trying to say that it's perfectly reasonable with the information they have to chalk it up to a coincidence. I don't feel like that's satisfying, but it's more like, I don't think it's more that like about trying to prove what their motive is. She's just trying to eliminate possible connections to the things she's obsessed with, which she's now determined they're not, even if it's like they could be indirect, but she doesn't care about indirect connection.
原作と絵に分かれていたということは、絵を描くのはイラストレーターの方だったんだろう。
Okay.
力士シールが最初に発見されたのは2007年頃の東京だ。が、その頃そいつは九州にいた。
Oh, okay. Wait, so they were in Kyushu.
漫画で芽が出ず、承認欲から悪ふざけで力士シールの作者を名乗り、お互いに精神を病んで、片方は持ち前の画力を生かして力士シールに取りつかれ、もう片方は物語でも書いているつもりでそれを妄想のネタにした。
I mean, I can kind of see that, but it feels, I don't know, unsatisfactory.
無論確証のない推測だが、どの道すぐにわかる。それよりも
What was more concerning was the fact that the man hadn't left his room for years. Why would he really leave it just because he'd learned about a bunch of stickers appearing? And
東京総合病院か。
that's what she's thinking. That was where the illustrator was kept. During the New Generation madness, there were rumors that the hospital was involved with a certain religious organization that was connected to the particular case. Yes, it was. And it was also supposedly related to SafeWorks, the company involved with the restoration work that had resulted in security cameras all over town. Yes, almost as if there's a connection there. And like Nozomi, this big company that was all about information control that vanished overnight, and then this new SafeWorks appeared. Out of nowhere.
俺は正直半信半疑だぞ。こんないたずら書きみたいなシールが事件に関係しているなんて。
Yeah, but you haven't seen what we've seen.
なら安心しろ。明日は別口だ。
Why? Oh, new murder. That's right. The next murder's happening tomorrow. Kunosato opened the file she saved on her PC.
これは
明日、壁報の新聞部と対談を行う渡部の記事だ。
お前が影で接触して炎上を煽ったあのネット記者か。
ああ、
Oh, so she set that up. Interesting. She nodded, then opened up the picture of the photo of the sumo sticker that was taken at the scene. She then lined it up against the one in the article. Shinjo stared for a moment, then he realized.
表情が違ってる？
Yeah, so one of these isn't real, or it changed.
渡部は今回のこと以外でも様々な現場に潜入しては大量のスクープ画像をものにしている。その数があまりにも多いため、一部の人間が捏造だと言って専門家たちに調査を求めた。渡部は快く応じ、その結果、
Right.
画像には一切改ざんの跡は見られなかった。
Is it a vetted specialist? Shinjo figured out what she was trying to say. No way, he whispered to himself.
明日、有村に確認させる。もしそうであれば。楽しい文化祭になるかもしれないな。
Oh, a lot of fun, as in like someone's about to die. Oh man, look at that smile. Whew. All right. Now, not perfect, but this is a decent place to end. Still, like, more to do as we prepare for the festival, but it's really gearing up that some crazy stuff's about to go down. So I suppose we should buckle off for that. But I imagine we have at least one more episode before that all kicks off, because technically it's the day before. I imagine we have, like, I think we're going to have, like, little one-on-one moments with most everybody. Like, I can see us doing an activity now with Onoa, and then going home and having a moment with Kurisu, who's going to be like, hey, I'm feeling good enough, I'm going to come to the festival. And then, you know, some time to contemplate, and then festival day. So we'll have to see. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun with it. That delusion was actually really enjoyable. It's a good blend of humor and cringe. It's a hard balance to strike, and I think they did a pretty good job with that. In general, I'm really getting interested in seeing how this is all kind of like ramping up, since we kind of already know what's likely, not necessarily going to happen. We know something's going to go down. Like, it's telegraphing it, but we already kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. But how is this all going to play out? Because so far, all these new gen killings have happened in like isolated areas and places where people couldn't really observe what was going on and the weirdness around it. But if this is going to be happening in such a public venue, as I think it is, how's that going to relate? Are we going to have like the knocking come around again? Like, what's all that going to be about? It'll be fascinating. But yeah, lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your willingness to keep coming in and checking out these videos. I'm certainly having fun making them. So thank you so much for that. And I appreciate your feedback, your thoughts, and the limiting spoilers so that you don't accidentally reveal too much. But like, you know, I know you're itching to, but I'm grateful that you don't. So thank you. Hope you keep that up. If you're bored or still have time for stuff and you don't know what else to do, there's plenty of great things to watch on the channel as a whole. But there's also other great creators you can spend your time giving, and all of them will be appreciative of like any time you give them. So like, thank you. Thank you for helping support these, you know, little hobbies or big careers, wherever we fall on that spectrum. And it couldn't have happened without you. So thank you so much. And until the next video you're watching me, I have to see me in next. I'll see you there.